Bugs crashing your pack's party? Whether they've got paws or sneakers, your pack deserves a home that's protected from pests. That's where Wonderside comes in. Plant-powered protection made with steam-distilled natural essential oils that actually work. It kills and repels fleas, ticks, mosquitoes, and ants without questionable ingredients or overpowering smells. Safe to use around kids and pets when used as directed, lab-proven to work fast, and proudly made in the USA. We offer sprays for pets, people, homes, and yards. Plus, spot-on treatments, collars, and even shampoos. Whatever your pack needs, we've got it covered. Founded by a pet parent looking for a better way to protect her dog Luna, Wonderside's now protected over 21 million lives and counting. You might have even seen us on Shark Tank. Go to Wonderside.com and use code WONDER20 for 20% off your first order. That's WONDER20 at Wonderside.com. Wonderside. Protect your pack with plant-powered Wonderside today.
If you've been thinking about getting serious with your money, like actually serious, now's the time. The Motley Fool is offering new members 50% off their iconic stock recommendation service, Stock Advisor. This is the same service that's crushed the market with recommendations that have returned 1,057% since inception, compared to the S&P 500's 180% over that same period. This isn't guesswork. The Motley Fool has a track record of finding companies before they become household names. So if you want to invest smarter and you like saving money while doing it, go to fool.com/listen to claim your 50% off discount off a 1-year term of Stock Advisor. Again, that's fool.com/listen. Returns of 1,057% are from the Motley Fool's product Stock Advisor and measured against S&P 500 returns of 180% as of July 10th, 2025. Past performance is not an indicator of future results. All investing involves a risk of loss. Individual investment results may vary.
And welcome to the Kulturecast. I'm Chris Stachiw. Sean Liang is currently still out doing what he does best, acting. So I am joined by the brotherly duo of Zach Wickwire and Dan Wickwire.
Hello.
What up, peoples?
Hello. Fuck you, Dan.
Hello.
We're talking about your kind of movie, and you can't even sound remotely excited.
I could do my usual introduction, which is hello. Kaiju!
Today we're going to be continuing our Kaiju Movie Month and talking Kaiju Gamera, or Gamera the Invincible, as it was released in 1965. But before we get to that movie, which I'm sure is going to be good, just like All Monsters Attack, Dan and Zach, have you been watching anything this week?
Not really. I mean, I've just been kind of hanging out at home, playing some video games. I've been playing too many games for review and working to actually get any watching time in.
I don't watch stuff. See, we're boring to have on here because I don't watch things. I watch like the occasional kaiju movie and YouTube. That's all I watch. One day I'll venture outside of my box, but I'm quite content with it as of now.
There's lots of good
love watching all those terrible YouTube videos, huh?
I do. It's mainly funny cat videos, or I actually really just watch Let's Players.
Nah, you should watch like David Parody, dude. Those guys are really funny.
David Parody? I've not heard of them. What?
Well, let me put it this way. If your gimmick is 100 blank of something and that's all you do on YouTube, then you're not funny.
Fair enough.
100? Let's try to stack 100 Oreos on top of one another. What?
That sounds oddly erotic, but carry on.
Yeah. What have I been watching? Not a whole lot, really. Just been watching kaiju movies.
Yeah.
Which are not my forte.
You are enlightened.
Yeah, that's for sure. I am something.
It'd be a different story if we were watching good kaiju movies, but
yeah, that's the problem.
We watched a good kaiju movie. To be fair.
Yeah, we watched Godzilla 1954.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert, this movie's not good.
Dan, I don't think you can honestly put a spoiler alert on a 62-year-old film.
Or a film that's in the public domain.
No, it's Wait, spoiler, are you talking about for Godzilla or Gamera? Because I was talking about Gamera, because I actually said something about it last we did All Monsters Attack.
No, I'm talking about Gamera. It's in the fucking public domain, so...
Yeah, watch it. It's free.
Yeah, it's
what else?
Literally, it's all over the place.
That's the motto. Watch it. It's free. What else are you going to do?
Yeah, basically you can watch it for free online, and the only reason you would ever buy the movies on DVD or Blu-ray is if you're a big fan or you simply want them at a higher quality.
High quality garbage.
Or you like turtles.
I love
that
turtles.
too.
So let's talk about Gamera. Film came out in 1965, directed by Noriaki Yuasa. It stars Gamera, a giant mutant turtle. The IMDb synopsis for the film is, from out of the Arctic comes a gigantic flying, fire-breathing turtle that sets its sights on destroying Tokyo.
Pounding across the motion picture screen comes the most terrifying monster of them all. Gamera, the Invincible. Gamera, the super monster that even the H-bomb cannot destroy. Gamera, the Invincible. Attention everyone! Take cover! Gamera, consuming raw atomic power. Power to destroy entire cities. Open fire! Man's most destructive weapons have no effect on Gamera, the Invincible. The mightiest nuclear weapons ever devised are powerless against Gamera, the Invincible. Is humanity doomed? Will the world be destroyed? The United Nations is called to emergency session in a last desperate effort to save the world.
We have one plan that we think might work. We have discussed Plan Z with the Japanese authorities, and they agree it is the best of our alternative plans. Is that correct, sir?
That is so. Plan Z is hope of the world.
A cast of thousands at the mercy of the most terrifying monster that ever lived. Brian Donlevy as General Arnold.
Is beyond comprehension. He must be stopped now.
Albert Decker as the Secretary of Defense. Will Plan Z stop Gamera? Gamera.
Always with the
The
Tokyo.
Invincible.
I know the both of you have already seen this movie before. I haven't. So starting with Zach, give me your thoughts on the film.
Actually, you would be incorrect, sir, because I have never seen this movie before today, and I actually literally just got done watching it before we started recording this, because I am all up ons. My thoughts on the movie, it's not very good. It kind of sets the stage for the Showa era Gamera films, which they're not very good. The movies really didn't get better until you get into the 90s, and there was like 8 films before that happened. So the first half of the not even the first half, the first 2/3 of the Gamera film library are just it's pretty awful.
I'd say pretty awful is an understatement if talking about this film. What about you, Dan?
A long time ago, many, many years ago, I did a review on this movie. If you want my deep, intimate thoughts on this movie, the review is on the Culture Shock website I uploaded. It was Kaiju Movie Review. It was last October. It's on there, but we're still going to talk about it today. It's, from a general sense, it's really not a good movie. It's okay, and there's reasons why I think it's okay. But it's not the worst Showa Gamera movie, and I'm not even counting Super Monster Gamera. It is not the worst of the Showa films, not by a long shot. And Showa is an era. Japan does all their stuff in eras, and this is just the time span when the film was made. I think it's sometime up to the 80s that was the cutoff.
At least in the later Gamera movies, you got some interesting like other kaiju. I mean, this one was just Gamera.
Pick that next time. Talk about the other Gamera movies. No, seriously.
Well, I mean, that's my problem with this movie is it seems like a fucking ripoff of Godzilla.
It is.
That's all it was.
It was a poorly. I mean, I see. I'm going to try to be the guy. I'm going to be good cop on this one and try not to throw it under the bus because I do genuinely enjoy the Gamera movies, the old ones. I'm just trying to think of like a general audience perspective when I say some of this stuff. It did what it could with the limited budget it had. Of course, Toho was already successful. They had Ajit Tsuburaya. He was, brilliant. It was a genius when it came to special effects work. I don't really know the cast very extensively of Gamera. I know it was made on a smaller budget. 1965, the movie was filmed in black and white. I mean, supposedly it was the last black and white kaiju film. It was the only black and white Gamera movie. It was, I believe, the only movie where he did not fight another monster in it. It was one of the only movies he was properly an antagonist. Kind of, yes. He had his moments where he was a dick. I mean, but we'll talk about that in a minute. I mean, I like it for what it is. I like how it was done. I like the black and white. I think black and white helped that movie. If that movie was in color, I don't think I'd like it as much as I did. And I kind of, some people may think it cheapens the value of it, but I think it looked good. I think it helped it. It gave it some kind of character. But for what it was at the time, of course, this was before Gamera was like full blown defender of the children. I thought it was okay. I mean, it's an all right movie, and that's the problem. There's much worse, like I said, but
well, I mean, there are much worse. I mean, we saw All Monsters Attack last week.
So would you say this is better than All Monsters Attack?
I'd say All Monsters Attack is more entertaining from like a garbage standpoint.
This movie's longer.
This movie is longer and less happens.
It's very true. It's a very the plot's just all over the place.
Well, I mean, the problem with this movie, walking away from this movie is it's such a close ripoff of Godzilla that I felt like I was just watching Godzilla all over again.
But done poorly.
But really not done well, obviously.
I think watching this movie, like right after watching the 1954 Godzilla, really kind of puts into perspective. Like I get what Daiei was trying to do with Gamera. Like, hey, we're going to copy the Godzilla formula and try.
Hey, this is Jason Kleberg from the Force 5 podcast, a show that forces a guest to come up with a movie-themed top 5 list topic, and then we reveal our picks on air. Top 5 heist films, top 5 tearjerkers, top 5 movie dogs. Every show you'll be asking yourself, what would be on my list? Guests include directors, screenwriters, actors, podcasters, musicians, authors, and even a professional wrestler. Subscribe to the Force 5 podcast, and you won't just be a listener, you'll be a list nerd. The Force 5 podcast, available wherever you're listening now.
If you're looking for more horror outside of the mainstream, look no further than Unsung Horrors, a podcast about underseen horror movies. I'm Lance.
And I'm Erica. Every other week, we'll cover a horror movie with fewer than 1,000 views on Letterboxd. We'll even give you double feature recommendations to pair with the movies we discuss.
From gothic to shot on video, from slashers to comedies, from giallo to J-horror, we'll cover all the subgenres. So join us as we unearth these hidden gems of horror.
Follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, all at Unsung Horrors, available wherever you listen to podcasts. And part of the Someone's Favorite Productions podcast network.
And make a lot of money, but at the same time, like, I mean, the movie was like painfully obvious. It was painfully obvious that they were trying to just take just copy Godzilla, and they just didn't do it nearly as well as what Godzilla did.
Well, I mean, they started the movie in like an extremely similar fashion, but again, not filmed nearly as well. I mean, of course they're in a different setting, but the analogy of Gamera being resurrected by the atomic bomb, but instead of it being, loosely based on a true event, because the opening scene with the boat was actually inspired by some kind of actual happening, and it was filmed brilliantly. Just the light radiating underneath the boat, and all the people dying and stuff, done really well. Gamera was just like some flimsy jet models, and then like a bomb. And then Gamera came out of the ice. Like, yeah. So it was less impactful and more just like a ploy for a reason to have a big monster come out of the ice.
Well, and I mean, realistically, in Godzilla, like, you didn't even see Godzilla for, like, the first, 20 minutes of the movie?
It was a little ways.
Yeah, you see Gamera, right away, and...
During the entire opening credits, actually.
And I mean, even when you think about the fact that this movie was made 10 years after the original Godzilla, and like you said, yes, it was a limited budget. The Gamera suit looks way worse than the Godzilla suit did, and that was saying something, because the 54 Godzilla suit was not that not much to look at.
It was brilliant.
The Gamera suit looks ridiculous, right? I mean, it looks terrible.
It does. I agree. Okay. Admittedly, this is the first one. Wait till, like, if we ever do this again, and I don't know if you will after the events you've had, I promise you it'll get better. But if we ever do this again, the suit actually changed a little bit over time and actually got worse in my opinion. But I still love the classic Gamera suit for what it is. The effects budget reminds me of like a television show. Like, you compare like a big blockbuster movie here to like something on, I don't know, like I don't know, AMC or something. You know what I mean? Like an actual just made for a television series or movie. The budget's not nearly as good.
It had the budget of Zone Fighter.
Zone Fighter, yes. Actually, probably worse than that because Zone Fighter had Gigan, Godzilla, and King Ghidorah in it. But that's neither here nor there.
I know.
I don't understand who this movie was made for. Because I mean, obviously, I watched the American version of the film, which probably doesn't help. But I mean, it feels like the American version of Godzilla, where there's these scenes with white English-speaking actors slapped into scenes that are like slapped in between scenes of the Japanese actors, and it's like pretty obvious.
Like, okay, Dan, you watched the Japanese one. I think there's a little bit of English actors in that one, right?
Yeah, it's mainly during the earlier parts of the film and a few later on, but they even took those scenes plus extra ones in the U.S. one. Actually, the U.S. version of the film is 6 minutes longer than the Japanese version because they added so much extra padding. And by the way, you say that, Chris, because you guys have both watched the original Godzilla or Gojira. Go back. I think you could find it somewhere on the internet. Watch the American version of the original Godzilla. Godzilla King of the Monsters. It was released in 1956. It's almost Zach's seen it, but it's almost an entirely different movie.
I was gonna say I have the Criterion Collection Blu-ray. It's a special feature on there.
Yeah, it's Chris. I know you probably haven't seen it. I don't know if you have, but it's literally got a bunch of extra scenes with an English actor. You can tell like the film quality slightly different, not big difference. You can notice when there's a transition between them.
I mean, that's it's just I just don't know what to think of these American versions of Japanese films that I feel like the quality is so all over.
I think a big part of it is that there was so much. What's the word I'm looking for here? There was a lot of racism still in that era. Like, I think it was like you re-record these movies with American actors to make it more appealing to an American audience.
That's why they did it. I mean, that's really what it boiled down to. Because even then, I mean, even when we were growing up, for example, because it seems like we're doing everything possible to not talk about this movie, but like when we were growing up, you remember how they would dub like anime and stuff, and they would try to minimalize the amount of Japanese content in it. Of course, you don't see this much nowadays, and of course, it was different back then. But that's kind of what it is. Like they just assumed like people wouldn't be accepting, but of course, back then, you were not nearly as far out from World War II, so there's a little bit more. I don't know what you want to say for it, but maybe racism is the correct word. But that's why they did it.
Well, and I mean, some shows, like, I mean, you bring up the subject of anime. I mean, you go back to, like, the 1980s. There were some companies getting anime shows where they received the show's film elements with no audio, and they had to go in and make shit up. I mean, the like, localization, like in the 80s and earlier than that, like, it was a real crapshoot. Like, you did what you could with what you had.
Well, even then, that doesn't make it much of an excuse for Gamera, because the only Godzilla film they really did that with was the first one. And then Godzilla 1984.
Yeah.
It was the only two they really did that with. There may have been maybe a Godzilla versus King Kong. It had a few extra scenes in it. But, after that, it was just, they dubbed them and they brought them over. They had a few with American actors in them that they actually had them in the Japanese movie, though. Like, Nick Adams and, Russ Tamblyn. Stuff like that. So, but it's just after that, this was past that point. I mean, it was just whatever.
Don't forget about Don Fry.
Yeah, that was awesome. But anyway, I didn't talk about the movie though. Speaking of the plot, because I don't know it's a big difference between the English and Japanese one. It's been a while since I've seen the English one. I just watched the Japanese one earlier today, again. My problem is just like it seemed like there was no. This falls into the same thing with All Monsters Attack. But that was geared for somebody. That was made for kids. That's what that movie was made for. This one was just a copy, and like you said, a not good one. But everything is just like it wasn't like something happened to progress the plot. It was just like everything just. God, I'm trying to think. It was literally like not even like a domino effect. It was just like literally was just going through the motions. And like the professor never contested anything. Like when Gamera showed up, the kid's like, "Don't kill Gamera, I love him." He's like, "Okay, we won't do it." Like he never fought the issue. There was no real tension. The actors weren't interesting. It's just I don't know. It was just like things just happened for Gamera to have more screen time and then send his ass off to Mars.
I really don't like the way that they treat the Gamera character as this like kind of sympathetic creature that they really never give any reason for me to believe he's sympathetic towards.
No, they do a horrible job because like they saved the kid. Was it Toshiro? I think is his name. Toshio. Okay, you'll probably notice we're not talking about any of the characters because none of them are interesting. None of them.
Well, none of them are also given anything.
No, they don't. Nobody has any personalities. They're just there to move the plot along.
They're archetypes. Every single one of them is like an archetype cut and dry. That's literally what they are. But anyway, the kid Toshio is a Kenny. That, like I mentioned this last time, is an annoying kid that is a rambunctious, loud, a boy, as most people refer to. You don't like it. Some people like, oh, he's all a boy, like that. Just an obnoxious kid that annoys the piss out of you, and he's the main character. And he was supposed to appeal to a younger audience, but he wasn't in the movie all that much. They didn't focus on him. They didn't focus on the adults very much. Like I said, they just moved the plot along. He saves the kid, Gamera does, for reasons they don't fully explain other than he loves kids. And then later, when he attacks the city, a building knocks over. He tears the building open, and these people are escaping down a fire escape, and he just blows flames on them, like face first. He's like, fuck them, like when they're older. Like, why?
It seems like it's just trying to follow the beats of Godzilla so much and doesn't want to be its own movie.
I agree. And Chris, I'm sure you noticed this because you've watched so many movies. The editing was an absolute nightmare in this movie. Like there was just some of the worst jump cuts I've ever seen, and like just scenes would just abruptly end and it would just be a new scene. Like there wouldn't be like an actual transition. Like I remember one point when Toshio disappeared and his sister was looking for him, and she's like, "Where have you seen him?" And some kid was like, "I think he's down at the river." And then like the camera zoomed out and she was already at the river. Like she didn't even go there. She was just there.
I think the thing that I enjoyed the most was when Toshio is like outside and he sees Gamera and he like runs back and like there's like mom and stuff like, "What? Why are you being so weird? What's going on?" He's like, Gamera is out there. And they're like, "There's no Gamera." And then he just pops up from the other side of the mountain.
Yeah.
Like, how did you miss
Where did he go?
Hello, filthy movie lovers. My name is Gentry Austin.
And I'm Casey Scott.
And we're the hosts of the Sin Syndicate, film podcast for something weirdos, anti-criterion bros, and Joseph Sarno aficionados. Join us semi-weekly as we peer into the adults-only theaters and sticky-floored cinemas of the golden age of sexploitation, when the morals were loose, the laws were murky, and the intercourse was all simulated. Find us now on the Someone's Favorite Productions podcast network.
Right? Like, where is he hiding? He's this giant ass turtle, and all of a sudden he just disappears.
He was
like,
playing peekaboo.
It was.
Yeah, he was playing he was playing hide the fucking turtle head. Is what he was doing. I mean, I legitimately have no idea what this movie was going for.
I mean, like I said, it's kind of sad that this came out like so long after Godzilla, but I mean, even for comparison, I mean, you got to figure. Like, Dan, take, for example, this came out the same year as Frankenstein Conquers the World.
And Invasion of the Astro Monster, aka Godzilla vs.
like,
Monster Zero.
This thing was predated by Rodan and Mothra and Atragon and
Varin.
Yeah, like, there was so many better movies that came out years before this thing. And this thing was just a mess.
It was a mess. It was a nightmare. I mean, like I said, I'm saying this to be as blunt as possible, and you know, I told some of my friends to, you know, check it out when we do this, and like I hope they're not thinking I'm just doing this to be an asshole and like get views or whatever, or help you guys. But I do genuinely like the movie, but I'm being critical of the movie because I love the movie, and I genuinely love these movies. And I'm not just doing it to blah 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 whatever. But
I don't understand how you could like
it's what I grew up with. And like I said, I don't even think this was the first Gamera movie I watched. The first one I remember is one way later, Gamera versus Gearon. That's the first one I remember watching. And this isn't even like remotely close to my favorite, but it's like I said, it's not the worst. But like here, I should say this. Here's for people who haven't watched it. Let me compare origin stories because I want like quality difference. We talked about Godzilla. Obviously, you guys have. He's an analogy for the nuclear bomb, and he's done very well. The only people who will ever, at this point in time, have ever understood the true meaning of actually having a nuclear devices detonated on a civilian population in their country. Only people to really understand that. And I'm not talking about Chernobyl. I mean like an actual weapon of war. That was the Godzilla's thing. And that's the best thing about him. That's why he's, I think, so likable. And his design's classic. The way it was done, brilliant. The music, brilliant. Gamera, on the other hand, in this timeline, is supposed to be like an ancient Eskimo Aboriginal creature that was locked. There's supposed to be a bunch of them, I guess, at least in the Japanese version. I don't know if it says this in the English version. Locked away under the ice or hibernating or something, and the nuclear bomb drops and resurrects them or brings one of them back to life, which is Gamera. And they actually touch on that later, more than one Gamera, not in the original series, but in the Heisei. So it's kind of a little nod to that. But essentially, it's like a hollowed out version. It's like, well, let's have this extinct animal come back to life because of a nuclear warhead, not it actually be like the embodiment of a nuclear warhead, what that actually means on like a mental and a social and a human level. It's just they drop a bomb and he comes out of the ice.
Yeah, and that's something that bothered me, like especially after watching Godzilla. Like I remember at one point in this movie, I think it might have been, it was either, I can't remember if it was before or after they tried the freeze bomb, and they were like, oh, the only way we're going to be able to stop Gamera now is with a nuclear weapon, and the Japanese military was just like, okay, let's nuke him. I mean,
I know. They're like, screw him, deuces, and like, what?
Yeah, it's just, I'm just like, I was taken aback by that. I was like, why would they be okay with this? Like, this... That doesn't make any sense.
I like how easily they're talked out of it. Like when they realize Gamera eats fire, they're just like, well, we'll just nuke him. Like, no, don't do it. I'm like, okay.
That happens like several times in this movie where they're like, let's do this. That's a bad idea. Okay, you're right.
Exactly.
I mean, like, the movie has so many misdirections, like, and they don't do anything with them. It's like a plot thread opens up and they just immediately slam the door on it. Like, there's no development. There's no anything. Like
and that's my problem with this movie. Is this movie really has no idea what?
Yeah, it was a mess. I mean, Dr. Hidaka, like the main scientist, I would have killed to have a character half as interesting as Dr. Serizawa was from the original Godzilla. Hidaka was so boring. Like he would just sit there like, yes, we should do this. This is a bad idea.
Save the children.
my plan didn't work. Let's do this other plan. It was just bad. And I do want to take it aside to note, and Chris, I'm sure you can vouch for this because you watched it too. The English dub, like some of the voiceover is so horribly racist. Like it's bad.
Oh no, I mean they say like, oh, me so sorry. Like it's like it is stereotypical, like what one would assume to be like racist Japanese.
And like the like Japanese minister or whatever at the UN like talked with the whole R thing. He's like, please be to my pleasure that we are to attacking Gamera, you know, like a really racist stereotypical Japanese person speaking English. And it was like, oh my god, this is terrible. Like you could tell it was a product of its time. Like,
yeah, it was kind of difficult to watch. I was like, wow, this is pretty racist.
Yeah, like I had that same thing. Like Oh man, that just took me back. I don't know, man. This movie just it has like
there's nothing redeeming about it.
No, it has this like low budget charm, but it's just ruined by the plot, like by how poorly the film itself is executed.
Okay, can I state, because I just love the ending of this movie, because you talked about like Dr. Hidaka having these horrible ideas, or having these ideas that not working and then just doing something else with little or no remorse. So obviously, like, we're going to talk about it eventually. I mentioned it earlier. Why is freezing? So they try to freeze Gamera. They try shells on him. They try to lure him away. They try nuclear device. They don't try it, but they imply they're going, or they say they're going to do it, but they never do. All these ideas, and which is just literally a handful of them to get rid of this thing. They know little or nothing about the monster other than it breathes fire and Gamera flies. Spoiler alert. You're right.
Gamera doesn't fly. He spins around in his rocket-powered
UFO shell. Yes, but yes, he can move himself without walking on the ground. But anyway, and it's we go from like nuke to like, okay, we're out of ideas after like the third idea to I've got it. I want to know who just sat down and like greenlit this idea. It was like, we're going to build a really large rocket, and we're going to lure Gamera to the top of it, encase him, and then shoot him to Mars. Why is that the best idea you can come up with? Why?
See,
well, and that's my problem with this movie is at the end of the day, when the movie finally wraps up, all I could think was, wow, this is what this whole movie was leading to, was Gamera being shot into space.
Well, I mean, he wasn't fighting another monster, so they had to fill it with goofy crap for the humans to try. That's all it was.
I wish I could say that the shooting Gamera into space thing was never referenced again, but it unfortunately is.
Yes,
right, Dan?
Yes, it is. Just what?
But no, the other problem with this film is your voice of reason. Like you go compare it to Godzilla again. In Godzilla, your voice of reason was Dr. Yamane, who was like, we can't kill Godzilla, we need to study it and learn how it lived. Your voice of reason in this movie is a little fucking kid that's like, you can't kill Gamera because I like turtles.
It's true. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
We're not making a joke here. We're not making a I like turtles joke.
No, that is literally like the movie. When Gamera saved the kid from the lighthouse, like that shifted the whole tone of the movie for me.
And then that was
he went from being this monster that it looked like he was going to come and destroy Japan, and then all of a sudden he saves this little kid, and I'm like, they want me to feel sorry for this thing? Like, why the hell would I feel sorry for it? It's like, it's a giant fucking monster.
And then like 20 minutes later, he's committing genocide with fire in the middle of Tokyo. So it's just what's keeping us in mind. But how many kids does he kill there, ladies and gentlemen?
Yeah,
he's one fat kid that falls off a light tower.
He just goes through the Tokyo and like for like 2 minutes, by the way, and kills like hundreds of people.
All this movie,
and you're like, okay, like 5 minutes ago they wanted me to feel sorry for him and be like, oh, Gamera's not a bad thing, and then he just goes and kills all these teenagers. Like, wait, the movie sends such horrible like mixed messages, man.
Does the English version got that song? It's Gamera, and like they loop that saying Gamera over and over, right?
Yeah.
Oh God, it's not in the Japanese one. I love it.
Where they're dancing,
like it just like 60s guitar or whatever, like Gamera. You know that kills me. I love that's not in the Japanese one at all. So I am very sorry for you guys.
I mean, I that was just par for the course where people are dancing and the military's like, get out of here, Gamera's coming. Like, nah, we want to dance. Like, oh my.
It reminds me of a scene from Godzilla versus Hedorah. You know which one I'm talking about, Dan? Like the trippy drug dance scene in Godzilla versus the Smog Monster. That's like all I could think of during that scene.
Except the scene from Godzilla vs. Smog Monster is way better because it references drugs, psychedelic 70s, crazy fish head people, Smog Monster don't eat cat. It's brilliant. It's great. But that's a product of its time. It's supposed to be the guy who when they made Hedorah. It was Yoshimitsu Banno. He was a weird effing dude that just made. He was just out there. And that was the point of the movie. It was supposed to be psychedelic. It was supposed to be of its time. It was an anti-pollution movie. But Gamera wasn't any of these things. Like you said, if you, at its core, it's just a ripoff. It's plagiarism. without being plagiarism.
And poorly done plagiarism at that.
I mean, I understand. I get it. I'm not blaming them for making the movie. I mean, if that's how fads work. Somebody does something, there's always imitators. Sometimes the imitators are good, sometimes they're not so good.
And you got to consider in Japan at this time there was multiple kaiju movies coming out a year. I mean, because after Godzilla hit, like they were just a constant stream, man.
Yeah, Toho is the main one, though. Toho did a lot of them. There were other ones. There's ones that we've never got here in the States, but there were TV shows and stuff going on at the time, too. And then there was, of course, anime, and that was kind of getting into its own as well.
Yeah, with like the super robot genre and stuff.
A little bit. I don't remember when Tetsujin 28 dropped. That was about that time, I think.
No, it's kind of interesting. Like I don't want to say I'm hating on. I don't want to make it seem like I'm hating on Gamera either, because
but this movie is derivative.
The movie is derivative, and like I was saying,
and it's derivative of a movie that's actually good.
Yep.
And I don't want to seem like I'm hating on Gamera, because the movies do eventually get good. Like the trilogy they did in the 90s that started with Gamera Guardian of the Universe is actually fantastic. But like this movie I just could not get into it. Like it was just. I mean, I'm glad it was as short as it was, to be completely honest, because I don't know how much longer I could have just sat and watched it. And like I believe, like it was mentioned earlier, like the movie just kind of stopped. Like it felt so anticlimactic.
Well, they wrapped up. They're like, and we're gonna shoot Gamera to Mars, and that's it.
Yeah, and like they didn't even mention that till after he was already inside the rocket. Like. I'm like, what the hell's going on? Like, is he going to break out and, like, kill everybody? Or is he just going to be like, oh, I'm going to listen to the little kid and leave? Like, I wasn't even sure which direction they were going to go. It just kind of stopped. Like, there was no real, like, build to, like, a climactic scene or anything.
By the way, all these movies are interconnected, the Showa series. So, like Zach said, this is referenced again.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, and since you talked about the movies didn't know where they were going, the second Gamera movie is, in my opinion, much better. And they didn't really hit their shtick until the third one, which was Gamera versus Gauss. That's when it really went to the full-blown Gamera Defender of Children theme song and all that fun stuff. So at that point, Gamera had us an identity at that point.
Then that kind of makes sense then why Gauss is like considered one of his most iconic villains.
Oh, yeah. That was like the start of it. Everybody's like, Gauss! Or Gaussu, I think.
I don't think I'll be watching another Gamera film. How's that?
You should watch the 90s. They're good.
That's fair enough.
If we ever do another one, we should do it. It's got good stuff in it.
Well, starting with Zach, skip it or watch it, best performance.
Oh God, I'm gonna say skip. I'm gonna give best performance to whoever the poor sap was stuck inside that turtle suit, because that had to have been awful. That thing did not look like it was light.
Teruo Aragaki. I'm sorry. Teruo Aragaki.
There you go.
He was all the way up to the worst Gamera movie ever, then he stopped doing it, so I don't blame him.
Well, because
one of the worst Gamera movies.
Yeah, I was going to say the worst Gamera film ever was nothing but clips from the prior movies, so.
Well, it's actually not Super Monster Gamera, but I won't talk about that. It's a different one.
What about you, Dan? Skip it or watch it, best performance?
Skip it from a general standpoint, unless you're like a really hardcore monster movie fan and you just like old special effects, tokusatsu, wackiness. If you like that stuff, watch it, because it's the first Gamera movie. It's just kind of nice to watch it because the origin. I mean, you can get them all free or dirt cheap if you want a good copy. I think the sets are like, what, $8 for the Blu-ray, and you get 4 movies.
Yeah. The Blu-ray sets are like $8 for four. Each one has 4 films on it.
Yeah. So and that's my opinion. I mean, I like the movie, but it's just there's other way better films to watch. But my best performance goes to Mr. Aragaki. I'm sorry, because like I said, he was Gamera in the first 4 films, and he was Rodan in Destroy All Monsters, and he was a bunch of kaiju in Ultraman and Ultra 7. So kudos to that guy, because I really didn't care about any of the other characters in the movie.
I mean, for me, this movie is just really a skip. Again, when you watched Godzilla 1954, that's kind of the bar that everything is compared against. And this movie is just not good. It's such a bad movie. It's such just a derivative Godzilla ripoff that there's nothing you can like about this movie, if that makes sense. As far as I'm concerned, there's nothing redeeming about this movie. If you want to watch this movie, just go watch Godzilla 1954.
Oh, I would like to throw something in on that, because I was going to mention this. The redeeming quality, because like I said, you talked about this. Actually, I like some of the effect shots. Some of like with like the fire and stuff. Like Gamera, I know it was all filmed in reverse, but when it looked like he was eating the fire, I thought that was pretty cool. So I mean, there was some interesting effects work, but that's what I like about the movies. But I forgot to add that. So.
And for me, best performance is Teru Aragaki because that Gamera suit cannot have been comfortable to wear at all.
Oh God, no.
Yeah. So, what do you guys think it has on Rotten Tomatoes?
Low as hell. Go ahead, Zach. You do an honest.
I don't know. I'm gonna say 25.
What was all monsters attack was like 3.5, wasn't it?
It was really
I'm gonna say
low,
I'm gonna say 2.7.
No. It was 20%.
Oh yeah, 20%. I forgot it's not 20%. I forgot 20%. 27 is what I meant. Sorry.
Yeah, 20% for Gamera.
That's pretty bad.
That's harsh. That's harsh.
Well, it's not a good movie, so
hey, there you go. If you go by Rotten Tomatoes, All Monsters Attack is a better film.
Which is astounding.
Hey. At least it had an audience. It had a goal. It was aiming for the kids.
You're not wrong. That's for sure. Well, before I talk about the next Kulturecast, Dan, Zach, anything you guys want to plug?
As always, you can find me on Kultureshock.com over on the Kulturecade, where I am plenty busy keeping lots of content coming along with the rest of the Kulturecade team. You can also find me on Twitter over at Pick Up and Play, where I'm going to give my opinion on all kinds of various stuff. And so it's a fun time. Give me a follow.
Of course, I'm Daniel Wickwire. I am the multimedia director for Kultureshock.com. I stream video games on my Twitch channel, which is twitch.tv/ROEHM_21. It's pronounced Rome, not Rohim. Get that all the time. But I stream every Wednesday and Saturday at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time on my Twitter channel. You can find links to my YouTube channel. I archive my videos on YouTube and Twitch. I'm sorry, I said Twitter earlier. And there's a link to my Twitter, which is Rome_21DW. You can follow me there for stuff relating to my channel and collectibles and whatever I'm feeling like at the time.
And you can follow me on Twitter at CultureStash. And if you like what you're hearing now, head on over to Kultureshock.com/Kulturecast to listen to 100 plus episodes of the Kulturecast. We are also on iTunes, Stitcher, and all podcast apps. So if you're listening to us through iTunes, give us a good review. As always, big thanks to Avoca for the intro-outro music for the Kulturecast. That song you're hearing is Lament off of their self-titled first album. If you want to check them out, head over to avoca.bandcamp.com. And if you want to kick a couple dollars our way to help us keep the lights on and make sure that we don't have to resort to eating fire like Gamera, head on over to patreon.com/culture_shocked and kick a couple dollars our way. Every little bit helps. Next Monday, we're going to be joined by Zach again and Mike White of the projection booth to talk King Kong versus Godzilla. I have no idea what to expect other than King Kong is fighting Godzilla, so...
No. Go ahead.
That's it. I don't know what to expect, so...
It's good times. You'll like it. It is actually a fun movie.
Yeah, I was actually gonna say, at least thank God we have a good kaiju movie next.
It is a good movie.
And big thanks to you guys for sitting down and talking Gamera with me.
So hey, it was fun. It was good times. I'd like to be back here in the near future.
Yeah, I know I'll be back, and hopefully next time it won't be quite as big a waste to have an hour and a half.
Yeah, right.
Hopefully I get to come on for a good movie at some point.